When it comes to Ragnarok, rat holes play a big role in survival on PvP servers, so we proudly present top 10 rat holes on Ragnarok Ascended. Up first, coming at number 10, that's going to be found at 39.1 latitude and 38.2 longitude, and then there it is on the map. Now this first one can be found directly right here. It is basically just this bridge. Now they forgot to patch a couple different ways in, this being the biggest way in right here, which is still pretty small. I mean, you can't fit any kind of like dino in here, which is still pretty good. Now when you first enter up here, it kind of opens up in a small little room, and then you have this area right here. Now this is just your little like entrance area, but if you keep going on the other side, which I'll show you right here, this is your actual like main rat hole. So yeah, right up here, you have a good amount of room. You don't really have room for like an indie forge and stuff, but you still have room for pretty much everything else. I mean, you can fit some small forges in here, you can fit a fabricator, chem bench, all that good stuff. It does keep on going as well. It just keeps going pretty much the entire bridge. But yeah, it does make for a pretty great rat hole. This video is sponsored by Mitra 9. Mitra 9 is a kava and kratom seltzer company which provides an alternative to alcohol. These drinks give you a high, but without the impairment. They have a ton of great flavors, my favorite being tropical. If you're looking for a new drink to replace your coffee in the morning, Mitra is the way to go. Simply go to mitra9.com and use my code Outcasts and you will get 25% off your entire order. Now, back to the video. And coming at number 9, this can be found at 48.0 latitude and 12.2 longitude, and then there it is on the map. Now this is on one of the new islands. This is one of the biggest islands, and it is directly behind this waterfall. Now some of you guys might argue that this is a cave, but in my opinion it's more of a rat hole because of just the style of entrance that it has. It's not the best layout, but it still is pretty decent for like a solo or duo looking to build like early on. I would not permanently live in here, but it does have two different rooms, that being your first room and this is your second room. So you can fit a good amount of stuff in here. I mean, it makes for a pretty good spot for just a smaller tribe. Coming at number 8, this can be found at 37.2 latitude and 98.0 longitude, and then this one can be found underwater. Now there's a couple different underwater rat holes that I've found, actually quite a bit of them, about 4 of them I believe, this one being the first one. Now this one is not too crazy, it's just very tall, so you're able to actually hide quite a bit up here. But if you saw the size of that vacuum compartment, it kind of shows you the true scale of this, and this is how it looks with the foundation as well. So yeah, it does go up pretty high. It's a little bit hard to see because of how the underwater is over here, but you can fit a pretty decent sized base in here. So if you're looking to build underwater, this is a pretty good one for you. Coming at number 7, this can be found at 50.9 latitude and 44.2 longitude, and this one can be found over in the redwoods. Now this is really not a great rat hole, I'm not gonna lie, but it's more for like a solo who's looking to kind of hide for a bit. I would not permanently live in here. I just figured that I would just toss this one in here because this is still another rat hole that I found, and not gonna lie, rat holes are a little bit harder to find on here than I was expecting, I'll just say that. But yeah, this is your other rat hole. It does have a little entrance up here, a little platform up here that you can also build on, but yeah, it makes for a pretty great spot. It also does have oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. It does have a second entrance up here, so yeah, that kind of nerfs this spot a little bit more. Coming at number 6, this can be found at 6.9 latitude and 56.7 longitude, and then this one can also be found underwater. Now this is a pretty decent one, I'm not gonna lie. The entrance is a little bit smaller, so defending it is going to be a little trickier, especially because it's facing straight down, and trying to defend an entrance that's just kind of going down has always been a bit of a pain. The big upside to this is that you can't really fit any water dinos in here other than maybe an anglerfish, so raiding it's going to be a little tricky as well. But yeah, here's your rat hole. There's nothing too crazy. Like, I wish that it just kind of kept going. If this just kept going, it would have been a pretty overpowered rat hole. But unfortunately, it kind of stops here. Like, it goes right up here, but there's really not enough room to build. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a tricky one to build in. But it is still pretty possible considering that you can't really get any water dinos in that entrance. So yeah, it's totally up to you if you want to build in here or not. Coming at number 5, this can be found at 40.6 latitude and 30.7 longitude, and this one can be found over in the canyons. Now this is a pretty awkward rat hole. It's very open. This one will 100% be getting patched because, you know, just look at it. It has that like stretch mesh on it. It's like they forgot to put a rock here, which is exactly what they forgot. Now this one has 2 different kind of rooms. This one being the first one, which I'll kind of go up, but it does have another entrance in this first area. The other entrance does not. But yeah, here's your area right here. It's really kind of an awkward layout. It's super long, So you have that working for you, but you can't fit too much in here. Then yeah, there's your second area that kind of enters into this first room. The second room does not have a second entrance. As you can see, that this room is right over here, and this one you can actually fit a good amount of stuff in. But yeah, it still does make for a pretty decent area. It's just not the easiest to really work with. It's just very awkward, and I don't know, it's really hard to fit all of your main stuff in here. So if you want to build in a bit of a complicated rat hole, I guess this one's for you. Coming at number 4, this can be found at 44.5 latitude and 86.7 longitude, and then there it is on the map. Now this can be found directly in this castle, so it's pretty easy to find this. Just kind of look for this, right by Red Ob. But they forgot to actually patch one of these entrances, which leads you straight into underneath the castle pretty much. I'm kind of shocked that they forgot about this, because it's kind of a big thing to just like look straight over. Now you do have a couple different ways to go, this being your first way, and this just kind of brings you into the wall that's like surrounding the castle. You can't really build in here. I mean, you can if you want to. It's going to be a little tricky to do though. I personally wouldn't, but yeah, it does kind of stop right here. I mean, you can fit a couple things in there, it's just going to be way too tight. But your other room is a little bit bigger. It still is awkward to try and defend it though. But yeah, here's your second room. So you come right over here, right down there, and I forget where it is exactly, but there it is right here. This is your second room. So you have a lot more room in here, and you can build a lot more stuff, and you're going to need a Pelagornis to get into the second spot. But I'm going to be honest, it's not really worth it. There's nothing really else back here. But yeah, it's totally up to you. Coming at number 3, this can be found at 38.5 latitude and 31.3 longitude, and then there it is on the map. Now this is another one that can be found in the canyon, except this one is a lot more overpowered. Now this one can be found actually pretty much right across the canyon from that other rat hole that I showed you earlier, except this one has a much bigger room. As you can see here, it spans quite a range right here and goes very high up. You have quite a bit of room in here. You can pretty much fit everything that you're going to need in a base. This one will be getting patched, but knowing how ARK is with their patches, you probably have about a month in here before they'll patch these things, because they just take forever to patch them. And it doesn't stop here, by the way. It does keep going to the left. Just kind of showing you guys every little aspect of this. But it does have some water in here, so if you're looking for a water source, I guess there you go. But yeah, over here, it kind of enters into the second little room down here. But up top, you do have a little platform to work with, so yeah, it actually does make for a pretty phenomenal rat hole on here. Coming at number 2, this can be found at 4.8 latitude and 63.5 longitude, and then this one can also be found underwater. Now this can be found pretty close to the Wyvern kind of styled area. It's pretty easy to find it, because the Wyvern area kind of spans for a good bit. Now, there's definitely a lot more rat holes right here. I just couldn't really find too many more, but this is the biggest one that I could find right here. And this one is pretty overpowered. So this kind of does span, kind of like that last one that I was hoping for. This one actually does just keep going and going. Now, it's not the biggest, but you can still comfortably fit everything, you know, in the back right here. And it does keep going right here as well. So, I mean, as long as you're able to build far back in here, you can build a lot of defenses and be pretty safe in here. Not a lot of people are going to really mess with you here. You can fit a couple bigger dinos in here, but even then, it's still going to be tricky. I'm so sorry for the epilepsy kind of stuff going on. I don't know. That's just ARK for you. Coming at number 1, this can be found at 35.9 latitude and 49.5 longitude, and then this one can also be found in the canyons. Now, this is a Pelagornis rat hole that can be found directly behind these waterfalls right here. So it's over here kind of on the left side, and it's the second waterfall like on the crease of it. But if you go right under here, there is a little entrance. It is very hard to find, and you can toss a Pelagornis in it, but it is water, so it's a little tricky, and you got to get him in that perfect spot. I messed up here. I was not able to get him on the first try, so I could not ride him. But there's like a little lead that you have to get him stuck on perfectly. So if that happens, you're kind of screwed. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's gonna be hard to toss out another Pelagornis. I tried to whistle him just to get him up here. He would not listen at all. So I kind of had to just abandon that and just ghost through just to show you guys. It is definitely a very tricky one to get in. But yeah, as you can see right here, he's stuck right there. And then you can just ride him, get off, ride him, get off. But yeah, here's your first area. Now you have a little tiny water area, but it glitches out and goes into a solid area with no water right here. By the way, this is your first room. Now this first room isn't really too crazy. I mean, you have a little bit of room to build stuff over here, but you have a pretty big room coming up. I forget exactly how to get to it, so I gotta watch the video. Give me 1 second. But yeah, so you come right over here, I believe, and I'm not gonna lie, I forget where to go. It's somewhere in here though. Hold on 1 second. I think it's right here, maybe. I don't know. Oh, okay, there it is. So it's right here, and then you can kind of glitch through here, and you can get through here without any Pelagornis or anything. And then the water stops again right here, and you have a little area down there, a little water area, I guess. And this is your second room. It is much, much bigger. You have quite a bit of room for everything that you're ever gonna need. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, and hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching.